Interdimensional Meditation Astral Travel Report for July 31st, 2025. ETs show me the coming magnetic pole shift. All right, so we did another live guided interdimensional meditation last night. And we do them every Wednesdays and Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. live on this channel. And we did one last night, and it was very unusual. This was, again, these astral meditations are becoming more and more interesting, and I must say, in terms of the visceral feeling that I get, much more power. Please, if you did follow this meditation, if you want to, you can go onto the live section and listen to it and come back and listen to this. But if you did the meditation, please put in the comments what you saw, what you felt, what you heard. Of course, I'm going to forget some of the things that happened, so please remind me. It helps me. It's helpful to me when you share your experiences. It's also helpful for others. So, we had an interesting one. We actually saw the coming magnetic pole shift, among other things. So, let's see if I can remember how this went. All right, so I did the normal opening. We did the whole breath. Before that, as I babble for 2 or 3 minutes just to let people show up. And as I did, I could feel powerful energy arriving, which means that the light beings have shown up and they're going to help. And so I knew it was going to be a powerful one. And we did the whole breath for a little bit just to get our physical energy bodies ready to go, and then off we went. And so once again, I got the impression that there was a mothership, an ET mothership, just hovering seemingly above my head. And of course, it would have been phased out of the third dimension, because unfortunately, they're not able to manifest fully in this dimension because we have humans who are constantly monitoring for them and seeking to shoot them down. So they take a risk every time they phase into 3D. So they didn't do that. And I allowed myself, this time it was like there was a tractor beam, and I allowed my astral body to be pulled up with that beam into the ship. And it was the same ship that I saw on Saturday when we did the meditation. And it was around, it was a saucer-shaped ship, and it was enormous. And so I can remember seeing, like from inside the saucer, different levels and beings, walking around on those levels. And then once again, I was led. I can't remember what the being was. It wasn't human. It wasn't a human being. It looked kind of like an insect. Again, I don't see things super clear like I'm watching a movie. If you do, put that in the comments, how you experience it. For me, it's the closest I can describe as sort of like an Etch-a-Sketch. I get sometimes little outlines of things, and then my mind fills in, the rest of the details. And so we were led to the same room that we went to last time. So this was a room on the edge of the ship that had like a window or some kind of a viewing screen, and I'm sitting in a chair not a whole lot different than the one I'm in now. And we saw planet Earth, and I'm trying to remember what happened. I can feel their energy with me now, so maybe they can help me retrace what happened. So I was looking at the Earth, and I was seeing the Earth flip. like you'd flip a coin. And the South Pole was at the North Pole, and the North Pole was at the South Pole. And then I realized that the Earth itself wasn't moving. And if you can hear the words that I'm using, I could have just used the words a magnetic pole shift, but that's not what I saw. And that's not what information was being given to me. The information that was being given was that the Earth is going to completely flip itself on its head, meaning in every way, psychologically, energetically, spiritually, mentally. These were the things that I saw were going to change. So everything was going to change. It was going to get flipped on its head, but the Earth itself wasn't. And then I kind of came to the conclusion, they're showing me, among other things, a magnetic pole shift. Now, I'm not of the belief that we are going to have a magnetic pole shift in the immediate future. So it could have meant a lot of things, but and if you remember, I was channeling whatever they were saying, and I don't remember that now. So you can remind me, fill in the blanks in the comments below. And then, if I remember correctly, once again, my astral body went down. Oh no, we went to, what the heck? We went to some star. That's right. I hope that I'm remembering the right meditation. I hope this was yesterday. We were led to some star, and it wasn't like a physical star. It was more like this crystalline structure thing. Gosh, and I don't remember what happened in there. Maybe I might be conflating yesterday with last Saturday. I do remember that on this new flipped Earth, we were pulled down to a specific point on Earth that had a tremendous amount of power, and it was like a circle on the Earth that had a direct connection to the Earth's core, which had shifted. It had shifted into just this core that was pure energy. And this energy was being funneled up through to this round area that was a crystal city. It was a city that was made of crystals, and then the center was this giant crystal spire. And so I was told this was the new Atlantis. Who knows what that means? And I was brought. My energy went down into the crystal spire that was funneling all this energy. And what it was is like there was just like this bright white light, super condensed energy was just erupting, out of the Earth through this crystal up into the sky, and it was going up into the atmosphere and then surrounding the Earth. And what I saw was there were chairs inside, like there was this circle where all the energy was erupting, like it was like a laser, just coming straight out of the Earth. And around that were I think I somehow got the number 13 chairs, and we all sat in them. I sat in one of them, and then what was happening was we were sending out of our third eye our intentions for what we wanted the perfect 5D world to be, 5D Earth. And so we did that, and I felt a huge amount of energy, very powerful energy coming out my third eye into this, this laser energy that's just shooting up out of the Earth and then into the atmosphere. And you can refresh my memory. I don't know what else happened. I think I may have said something. The way I remember it was that we were being shown what the Earth was going to be in the future. Not right now, today or tomorrow, but further on in the future. And we could go to this place and meditate and send our intention into that light that was being, shot up around Earth's atmosphere, and that whatever we intended was going to end up being physically manifested at some point in the future. I don't remember much after that. At some point, we came back into our bodies, and I just don't remember a whole heck of a lot after that. I have this feeling like before I ended the meditation, we kept our eyes closed and did some work. And then after I ended the live stream, I believe that I meditated a little while longer. But to be honest, I don't remember. I really don't remember a whole lot after these things. And, today I've been pretty tired. So that tells me that we, expended a lot of energy. So anyway, that was my experience. The idea was that, again, the world is shifting. And we're right around the corner. There's going to be a massive shift coming very soon. And it may be something we can't quite comprehend yet in our current 3D minds. And along that note, I am aware that there is a shift happening. I can feel it. I can feel it in my energy body. And as I have been sharing with you recently, ever since I started doing this interdimensional work with light beings in over 3 years ago, it's been increasingly harder to stay here. In fact, there have been times when it's just been intolerable. The frequency of this earth, it feels dead to me, and I don't want to be here anymore. I want to be someplace that has more energy. This place feels like it's, we're in a Langoliers land, where it's, it's not real anymore. It's stale and it's going to be consumed. And this was getting very difficult, and was getting more and more difficult for me to just function. And then I started doing the Maoshan spirit fighting. I started doing it regularly. I started working out regularly like I used to years ago. And there was a huge shift. The shift was that what used to happen when I was training to master this art, we're talking, 30 years ago, I would train for hours every day. It made living in the third dimension very difficult, because the frequency was so high and I was so connected on so many levels. Just the normal 3D way of functioning was very, very, felt very toxic. And so after a while, after I had achieved the power that I was looking to achieve, after being celibate for like 6 years and just training every day for 6 years, I finally decided that I was going to stop training so hard and I was going to become human again. I would get into relationships and do the normal human thing. And it made things easier. So what I remember is that doing these Maoshan practices, before the shift, being in 3D didn't feel right. So the strangest thing happened when I started practicing again. It was the opposite. Where up until then, I was feeling like I didn't belong here on Earth when I wasn't practicing. Then I practice, and all of a sudden, my energy is now feeling like I don't know how to describe it. This world we're in isn't the new world, and it's not the old world. We're in like a limbo. It is a shifting world. And so the energy is shifting up. But if we don't shift up with it, then it feels like we'll get left behind. So the feeling that I have now is that when I'm practicing these Maoshan spirit fighting practices, I feel like I'm now hooked into the frequency as it's shifting up, and I have hope, and I have plans, and I'm looking forward to
doing my job, which is to shift this world up. That's at least what I've been told my job is. And so now I am going full blast sharing these techniques. And so you can take a look here, the resources. If you're new to this, you can do the live guided meditations. Those are free, but the difference between the live guided meditations and the Maoshan spirit fighting is that the live guided meditations is like plugging yourself into, the highest heavens. But once you unplug, you come back down, and you're not connected to it anymore. So the meditations are important, but they're not the same. It's like, you need to lift weights to be able to build up the strength. So the practices are you having control to turn the frequency up. And as you control how the frequency increases, then you start to feel more connected and more alive. And so anyway, I'm not really expressing myself very well because I'm kind of tired. But anyway, so check out the resources, the Warrior 90-Day Lightning Qigong, which you can find here at thunderwizard.com. By the way, in that, the phase 3, I have in that the quantum butterfly, the first half of the quantum butterfly. And that is a very powerful exercise. And if you're doing the Warrior 90-Day and you get to phase 3, you'll be able to do that practice, and it won't cost you anything. And that's just that practice alone is, it's extremely valuable. So there's those resources, the Warrior 90-Day Lightning Qigong. We got the Maoshan practices, which if you go to thunderwizard.com and click on the shop, if you're brand new and you want to feel these energies I'm talking about, you don't want to believe me, you want me to prove it to you, I'm happy to do that. I created a set called Summoning the Immortals or Awakening the Immortals Qigong. You can find that at thunderwizard.com in the shop. It's super inexpensive. It's like $25, and it's worth a hell of a lot more than that. But I specifically made it so you could feel the energies and you could have direct access to them. And so that's another resource for you. So you can subscribe at thunderwizard.com. If you want to learn how to contact and communicate with ETs like I do, go to contact.thunderwizard.com. If you want me to channel for you the ETs to not only tell you what the messages they want to give you, show you who you are in a higher dimension, but I'm also channeling their higher dimensional energy into your body and into your reality. Don't ask me how that works. I just know that it does. So if you want that, you can go to channel.thunderwizard.com. If you want to get started and you want to get serious about creating the light body or the rainbow body, go to maoshan.thunderwizard.com and do those practices. Start with you can start with the Maoshan 5 elements. And if you can't afford all of them, then go to the shop at thunderwizard.com and get started with wood. And then, if you've already done that, then you can go to thunderwizard.com and you'll see their Maoshan Level 1 instructional videos. You can subscribe there. And I am uploading their classes and secrets and techniques that you're not going to find anywhere else. Some of those are free, but that's because I'm uploading those to the channel, so I put them in there as well because that's the subject matter. But if you want to get to the actual classes and the techniques, then you're going to have to subscribe. Now, this is only Maoshan Level 1 is only for people who have done or at least gotten the Maoshan 5 element spirit fighting forms. If you haven't done that, don't subscribe because it's not meant for you. Okay? Anyway, a lot more videos are coming. If you want to learn the beginning for Maoshan, these are the things that you can do to get started. The Lightning Qigong, the small quantum butterfly, which is free at the Lightning Qigong. Awakening the Immortals, which is really cheap. You can get it in the shop. That's for beginners. If you do that, you will tap into the energy. You don't have to go beyond that if you don't want. But if you want to really turn up the volume, then I encourage you to go to the intermediate level, which is the five element spirit fighting sets, which you can find on the shop or the maoshan.thunderwizard.com website. The first set, Butterfly Hands of Creation, which you get for free with the spirit fighting first set. So I don't recommend you do that until you've done the 5 elements, then do the first set. And and then advanced, which is coming. We're gonna. I would put the first spirit fighting set in the advanced category, but we're going to also do the second spirit fighting set, the third, and then there's a couple others which are incredibly powerful, much smaller, much shorter sets. But these are where we're going with it. And if you've watched the videos, it's incredibly powerful. I believe that this is one of the primary methods that the light beings are teaching us so that we can channel their energy onto this world. So if you want to do that, please let me know. You feel free to ask any questions. Thunderwizard.com, maoshan.thunderwizard.com. That's it, my friends. I love you all. Be very good to yourselves. I will see you very soon.